It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, everybody. Yes, this is your Feel Good Breakfast Show on S3 on this Monday. Yes, I feel it. You took a breather.
I'm ready for a break. Yeah.
Everybody wants a break. We all need to take a break and get away when we can. But travel, of course, will never be the same as it was before. Now, this isn't a bad thing. However, as the planet has had a breather, and although the tourism industry has been greatly impacted, the COVID-19 pandemic has taught us an important lesson. Travel is not a right, but a privilege. Today we're asking, how has the pandemic changed your perceptions of traveling? Well, clinical psychologist Asha Dullabh is here today to help us discuss this, and we're taking your questions and also your comments via our Facebook page. And suddenly I feel like I need to go to Greece because you look like a Greek goddess.
Yeah, you look like you've been on a holiday since the last time we saw you, which is great.
I'm looking forward to an holiday.
Oh, aren't we all? I think the flip side has happened to me. I've become like agoraphobic. I'm like terrified of wide open spaces, of crowds, of being outdoors. I think this pandemic has changed us. Obviously, holidays are now, as we said, a privilege, something that we definitely don't take for granted anymore. Let's get to the heart of it. Why is a holiday such a wonderful thing? Why do we de-stress like we do when we're on holiday?
Our holidays are certainly a stress buster. We get out of our mundane routines. You know, we're species of habit, and it's a good way just to sort of relieve our natural environments which is usually associated with stress and pressure. So we get out of that. And, you know, a holiday, we need to look at what does it mean to us. For some of us, it means that we need to relax, rejuvenate. And for us, it's just basically stop working. I need to now just chill and do nothing. So it's really about looking at the definition of holiday for each individual person, because it may mean something different. But holidays can be stressful as well if we, you know, overthink. If we want to do too much, if you've got kids. So it's really about the state of one's mind and how we approach our holidays, and start off by even the planning and the anticipation of a holiday can be a stress relief because it brings about happiness.
Well, something to be excited about,
I used to get excited for with regards to traveling, like going overseas. That for me was traveling. Now when everyone says you're going to Johannesburg, I'm like, yes, it's a travel. it's a way to connect with people, but that's exactly what traveling does. It gets you excited to connect with people, different cultures, taste different foods. Why is that? Why does traveling open and broaden our minds when we are going abroad or even just visiting Johannesburg?
I think we tap into all our senses, you know, when we travel. It's the food, it's what we see, it's all the newness. And I think as human beings, we love newness. So it's about seeing things new. It's about embracing an emotion of awe. You know, when we are like out and we're seeing all these new things, it's just like awe and wonder. We are so amazed, and it elicits the happy hormones in our bodies, the chemicals, it lowers the cortisol levels. And we learn so much about ourselves. We learn about our cultures. We appreciate our culture so much more. And of course, we learn about other cultures through all our senses. So it's really beautiful.
It really is. I mean, they say change is as good as a holiday. I think a holiday is as good as a holiday right now. You never come back from and especially with an overseas trip, but any kind of trip, it changes you. Something happens to you when you go on these excursions. There is something about it that is good for our mental health. It helps us build our resilience. You have to deal with curveballs. Why is it such a positive experience to go through? What do we gain from going on holiday?
I think it taps into so many aspects of ourselves, our character. We redefine our character. It's knowledge that is beyond what any education facility can offer us. It's experiential knowledge.
Exactly, yeah.
We're experiencing things. It taps into our creative self. It builds our confidence, our self-esteem. It's about embracing all the memories that we have, that we create over holidays, and the bonds. You know, whether we're bonding with ourselves, traveling solo, or bonding with the people that are with us, the people that we meet. It's endless. The list is definitely endless.
Memories that last a lifetime.
For sure. Well, how has the pandemic changed your perceptions of traveling? We'll answer that in a minute. Asha Dullabh is still here today to help us discuss this topic, and we're also taking your questions and comments via our Facebook page, so do connect with us.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Well, Welcome back. Yes, you're live with Expresso, and it is indeed a Monday, which means we talk relationships. And today we are asking, how has the pandemic changed your perception of traveling? And we're back with our good friend and clinical psychologist, Asha Dullabh, to unpack this very interesting topic. So please weigh in with any of your questions or your comments. If you've been anywhere really nice recently, let us know, man. Maybe you're one of the few international travelers. I feel like only sportsmen have really internationally travelled.
True.
But they've gone from one biodome to another biodome to another. They haven't actually travelled. That's a whole different dynamic. But this is really interesting that it's changed, hey?
You know how my perception changed? I thought, you're only going to feel that feeling of newness, like you mentioned earlier, when you go overseas. Because I used to go overseas and come back, and there was like always that sense of longing to go back there. But places like KZN, places like Johannesburg, gives me that sense of newness. Unfortunately, COVID-19 took away a lot of people going home for the holidays, because I mean, a lot of people will spend the time where they're living and then go home for holidays. The reality is that with maybe the fourth peak coming up in December, people won't be able to go home, spend time with their family, spend time with their loved ones. How will they have to adapt to this and think of a different way of spending time over the holidays this season?
Yeah, I think, Jamie, the key word there is to adapt. I think that we need to be accepting of where we are at holistically as a planet. The restrictions are at play. And I think that maybe just to shift our way of thinking about connecting and bonding, over time we've realized that, we don't always have to see each other to exchange that energy of love and care that we have for each other as family, as friends. We need to know that there is love and care regardless of us not being able to always see each other. And of course, using other ways to connect and stay connected, using the technology. It is hard times, but it's about just, I think, getting to a space of just accepting, not struggling with the restriction that we have in place.
Thank goodness for the digital era. Like, I've noticed such a big shift in my kids, how they engage with me now. They're obviously overseas at the moment, and they engage with the phone, they talk to me, they ask me questions, they bring things to show me. And that's because they've gotten so used to talking to their grandparents who've been based in the UK, who haven't seen them for the last 2 years. They've gotten used to that digital medium. Now, I just ask them to put a camera up, like put the phone up and just leave it on. I don't have to talk to them. I just want to see them and just be in there. And it feels like we're in the same room.
Yes.
So thankfully, that has changed. I've got to ask, though, because COVID seems to have made us so much more conscious in so many other areas. We are woke now.
Yes.
Clearly, the veil has been lifted off. Are we going to be more conscious travelers, do you think? Do you think the way that we travel and our motivation for traveling is going to change?
I love that word, Graham, conscious traveller. I think definitely there is much more consciousness. I think that the traveller these days are more discerning of where they want to go, their journeys. I think that there needs to be that resonance, because the times have changed. So we've got an outlook of life that's completely different. I mean, from being in restricted places, we are now searching for more vastness, connecting with nature. We are slowing down and taking in more, taking in the memories, the bonds. I think that we are also just looking at traveling in a whole new, different perspective. There's the traveler, and then there's the tourist. And it's more about the destination rather than the journey. More the journey than the destination. So, I think that there's many aspects that have impacted on the conscious traveller at the moment. We are so much more in touch with what we really want to connect with. We know our values. It's just like we've sort of looked and reflected on.
We've done an audit, We've done a
I don't know if you're realizing this, but we're actually looking at all of your vacation pictures right now as you're speaking. Look at that.
Life.
Good memories, obviously. How do we hold on to all those good memories that traveling allows us? Because there are so many good memories.
Was this in Turkey? Was this your last trip?
Yeah, this was some pics from Turkey, and I think some from India that have been Egypt. Yes, I think the way to hold on to the memories is to share the stories. But for me also, if I've been to a place and I've tasted something that was wonderful, I come back home and I try and cook it. It's a way of also just, pulling through that memory. Photos, often during holidays we tend to maybe take the time to have a breakfast, and pulling that through also, because that's also a memory of just relaxing, taking longer walks, things that we do on holidays that bring us that lovely emotion of nurturance. Try and pull that through in your when you get back from a holiday as well, just to maintain that memory.
Well, maybe you recently were in Italy and you are feeling a hankering for some pasta. We're going to continue on that trend right now. We're going to keep talking about travel in just a moment, but first, let's head back to the kitchen.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, everybody. Yes, it is Monday, so we're talking all things relationships. And today we're asking, how has the pandemic changed your perceptions of traveling? We're back with clinical psychologist Asha Dullabh to unpack this topic, so do weigh in with your questions and also your comments on our Facebook page. And like I said earlier on, it's at end of year fatigue now. Everybody wants to travel, everyone wants to go on holiday, but everyone needs to rest as well. It's kind of a time now where we need to rest, get our mind. We've had an eventful couple of years, 2 years.
Yes.
Of just go. Why is it so important that now at this time, as we go into season, that we just take a deep breath, rest and recover after what has been a crazy, crazy year?
We definitely need this experience of nurturance. It's almost like a self-love act to just take that time out to rejuvenate from a state of our mind and our body and our soul. Traveling is so important. It gets us out of our comfort mode that sometimes is quite restrictive. We feel quite stuck in that mode. And once we can sort of get out of that comfort zone from a level of our mind, our body and our soul, we just experience a lightness of being.
Do you prefer to travel alone or with a group of people? What is kind of the most stimulating and exciting for you? Yeah.
I think that it's different. You know, traveling is, you can travel at different ages, which has a different impact. Maybe if I was younger, at 18, I want to travel with my friends. Right now, I mean, I could do a combo between traveling with my family, depending on where I want to go. Or sometimes there is a need to travel solo because it's such an experience of understanding a side of you, questioning yourself, reflection. It's a depth of an awakening experience, almost, I could say, when you're on your own, because it's such a process of reflection. But of course, you know, traveling with the partner and traveling with the family is also great moments of joy.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely,
memories.
it's different.
I always say this, I say to travel is to live, But like we spoke about earlier on, the conscious traveler, the person that is now worried about the fact that COVID-19 happened, they're scared to go out into these vulnerable communities, being able to travel again, how would you encourage them to go out there, travel again, get excited about life again and explore the beautiful country and maybe the world that we live in?
Absolutely. I think the conscious traveller also includes the traveller that is conscious about the safety regulations and just sort of adhering and respecting the restrictions without fighting and struggling with it. And you know, life is short, and my famous quote is that life is a daring adventure or nothing at all, so do it and do it now. Otherwise time passes us by. I mean, we've been with this COVID for like 2 years and it's not going to really go away anytime soon. So let's embrace it and work
around
with it.
Yeah. Where's the next place on your bucket list? Where do you want to go to next?
I think an island, just to chill and I love the beach. I love places that, you know, tap into that emotion of awe for me.
A little bit of Maldives will be okay.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Down with that.
Greece. I don't know why.
Maybe Greece.
This look gives me Greece every single time. Some in the
given
Middle
me
East
some
as
You just
well.
want to meet someone. This is you're all about getting your groove back. I don't know about it. One thing's for sure, we want to travel because we love embracing the world out there, and there's a beautiful world, whether it's here in South Africa or overseas, an opportunity to go out there and just to do it, embrace it, because you deserve it. Almost there, almost holiday time, guys.